So Swatch Group didn't kidnap aliens or slaves or something like
No.
that. This is 생활인의 시계. We are in special studio in Seoul with Silvang Dola, one of the most influential leaders in the industry, CEO of Tissot. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm really excited to meet you because I really admire you. For last 2 years, you really changed the recognition of Tissot brand. I feel like I'm a rock star here.
No. You are the rock star. You are the man used to speak in the public and talking to hundreds of thousands of people. I'm just a CEO of a watch company.
How do you like your trip so far?
Great. I just landed from Japan, and I'm so happy to be back in Asia because with the COVID it was too long not being here, and it's very important to be close to the markets to understand what they want, what they need, to understand where can we go with bigger space in shopping malls. So very happy to be in Korea. Every time I land in Seoul, it's amazing because this city is buoyant. It's so big, it's so dynamic. So give me a lot of energy.
Your most important work as Tissot CEO, I think it is arguably the PRX. The PRX is not just one of the best-selling watches in the planet right now. It is also one of the most talked about watches in recent years. I think it has definitely helped Tissot get respect from watch enthusiasts. Why is the PRX particularly successful at speaking to more serious watch enthusiasts and collectors?
Well, I think it's quite simple, the answer. First, the watch is authentic. If you take the 35mm that we have here, it's one-to-one the original from the 70s. So it's not something invented from nowhere. It's authentic. It's like the original. We just improved it because we have new technology to produce watches today. So we just took the design and improved the way we produce it. So authenticity because of the history of the watch, and then perfectly in trend with the current wishes from the market, and these sport watches inspired from the 70s. And the last element of success is a combination of extremely fine details we have put into it. If you look at the quality of the bracelet, the brushed, the facet, the different work we did on the different light that you can see on the bracelet, and the quality of the comfort when you wear it, and also all the details on the dial. All these little details make the watch looking really great and you feel you really have a valuable product on the wrist. Every morning when I wear it, I don't know, I have an emotion. It's a product that provides to the wearer an emotion.
I thought I have good understanding of the quality of Tissot watches because I bought Tissot watches 4 to 5 years ago, several watches.
When you were a student in the US?
Yeah. And I reviewed PRX, and then I realized that the quality improved. But you still relied on the same companies of Swatch Group, right? So how the quality dramatically improved from the earlier watches?
It's quite simple. What we did is that our team now, instead of launching 150 new references, we stick to 100 maximum per year. So we have 50 more. We have much more time to focus on the detail of the 100 remaining. And we know that the market is competitive. We know we have to challenge ourselves. We know we have to push the boundaries. And next year there is a product that will come. I will not show it to you today because I don't have the sample with me. But it's a beautiful classic watches. But you will see the quality of the dial, the quality of the case is astonishing. We push the boundaries of the current PRX finishing, and the case we had 4 different versions. Every time it was coming, we said, no, not good enough. We need to change this little line, these little things. And then suddenly one day they came with a prototype. The VP product and myself, we were at one of these products. We were like, wow, we got it. And it's just pushing the limits.
That's the secret?
Yes, being obsessed by if you don't get the perfect line, the perfect construction, you do it again.
Do you spend more cost per unit?
You know, there are a lot of things that doesn't necessarily cost. This is the best example for me. You see this line on the integration of the bracelets. It doesn't cost to make it perfect at the eye. You just have to make sure that the case supplier, the bracelet supplier, they make it exactly that the integration is perfect and the eye doesn't perceive any difference. It's not like gold or diamonds or putting very expensive materials. It's just making sure that the thing you do it perfectly right. So the eye perceive that we have made it exactly as it should be.
It is not all about cost. It is
No,
more.
it's the finishing of a dial is the same. If you want to have this different contrast between the brushed and the sun ray effect on the sub-dial, it's not a question of putting diamonds on the dial again, or as an example that brings value up in terms of cost. It's just getting exactly the match you want to have.
You took the helm at Tissot as CEO almost 2 years ago. What stands out to you most when you reflect on your time at Tissot so far? And are there something unique about Tissot in terms of location, history, culture, or working environment?
Things. Yeah. Many things special about Tissot. But probably what surprised me the most 2.5 years ago when I joined, I went to the 7th floor of the HQ, and there are 7,000 beautiful watches from every path of the brand history. So we have some minute repeaters from 1900. We have the first watch from 1853. We have the original T-Touch, and we had the original Prx, which struck me because I immediately loved it. I was 17 years in the industry. I knew Tissot had a rich history, but I didn't realize how rich the history was. So that's the first thing that really impressed me. The rest I knew already because I was working for Tissot on the T-Touch Connect Solar project. And I knew that what is special at Tissot is that if you have an idea, if you have a wish, you have the means. Because it's a big machine with big investment capability and with the culture of innovating. So if we have an idea in the morning, we can discuss with engineers, and then if we feel something, we can go ahead with the big machine of the Swatch Group behind and the big capability of Tissot in terms of investment.
There are lots of watch brands in Swiss, and almost every brand is now working on their archives and their histories.
Yep.
So what is so unique about Tissot's archives?
Well, the uniqueness of Tissot is that it's one of the brands that has invented the most. It was really in the culture of the company to invent. For example, the first amagnetic watch was a Tissot watch, and it took 10 years of investment and of time to be able to make this innovation. If you look more recently at the T-Touch was invented more than 20 years ago. It was 1999, if I recall, and I remember in those days I was in the consumer electronic world. It was a revolution. It was something I remember people were talking about Tissot in the consumer electronic world because of the first tactile watch. So that's what is unique. We have a lot of innovation, and also we have amazing design. If you look at the Prx, we took it one to one. We took the tomography technology to be able to respect every single angle of the watch because we just loved it as it was made back in the 70s.
What about working environment? Is it different from other companies you worked?
I think one thing that I really appreciated when I joined is that it's a very healthy company. The people are here to work for the brand and not for their ego. That changed a lot of things. It's a brand of passionate people that are there for the brand, to serve the brand. We have also a lot of young people. If I talk about communication, all the new campaigns you see are developed with a team that are aged between 25 and 30 years old. And they are very creative and very passionate about what they do.
Would you like to share more about decision-making process when you launch a new model? How do you decide things?
Okay, so for product development. So for product development, we have product managers that come with their ideas, their development ideas, and then we involve at early stage also the constructors, the engineering parts. It's very important because you can take the Prx, it's a beautiful watch, but the quality of the work that the engineers, the technical guys, not the creative guys, did is impressive. And the integration is perfect, and that's a lot of work, the behind-the-scene work. So then they come to the committee. We have a committee with the vice president product, with myself, and we make regular meetings every 2 months. We have an official meeting where we review the product. But not only the product, we also start very early with the marketing. So we involve also the marketing people, very early stage. Because at the end of the day, a product, you need also to be able to involve the marketing people very early because that can give them ideas. And then that's the formal part. But then when I joined, I moved the product department just in front of my office because I believe in daily presence. I want to see them every day because developing watches is not working. When I arrive in the morning, if there is something difficult to manage, a crisis in the country or whatever, I can handle it for 1 hour, and then I go to product team. What are the news? Did you receive some components for the new telemeter? Did you receive some new? And then I can see dials, I can see and they feed me with the creative energy, and I can also give them my point of view on the development. At the end of the day, the decision is made together. I don't take the decision alone, they don't take the decision alone. But I have to say, if a product manager is really convinced about a product, and if he put his full emotion behind it, even if I'm not 100% convinced, I will probably say yes. Because at the end of the day, if they put the passion, the end result will be good. In the today world, the top-down doesn't work. You need to involve the people that make it happen. My role and the vice president role are more to help them to take decisions when they need, are more here to put the means, the infrastructure, the budget behind it to support the ideas. The creative ideas have to come from the team, the people who are involved. If it top-down doesn't work because you break the creativity.
Okay, so it is more democratic, right?
Yeah, it's democratic, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure also the company runs, and sometimes we cannot only take a democratic decision, sometimes we have to decide a specific topic, but in general, in particular for marketing, for product, we need to leave the people that are competent. I'm not a product manager, I have my ideas, I have my gut feeling, but at the end of the day, it's a job. It's a job to be able to integrate perfectly a bracelet into a case. It's a job to see that maybe if I change the indexes with this type of technology, that will give. It's a job, and we have to respect their job and listen on how they do it.
You respect their specialty, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
The expertise.
In the pandemic, unlike other brands, Tissot not only survived but thrived. What was most impressive to me was that your customers were always able to find popular models at the stores, like Prx's and Sisters, while other brands seriously suffered from reduced production capacities and troubled supply chain. How could Tissot manage it to do business as usual, even during the crisis?
It's very simple. We have the chance in the group to have the culture. It's not only Tissot, it's the whole Ceo를 group. The management of the group and the founder of the group always believed in self-confidence. Believe in what you are doing. It means if there is a crisis, you continue to invest. You don't stop. You invest. You keep high stock level. You invest in your stock. You invest in new developments. You don't stop. And then you keep the people. When there is a crisis in Tissot, we recruited more people in 2020. We had more headcount at the end of the year in the HQ because we knew it will be a crisis that will be there, up, and then will disappear. And if you continue to invest during tough time, when the market starts again, you are the winner because you have the stock, you have the new development, and you have the people. Most important, you have the people that are still with you.
It still doesn't make sense to me because you have factories on the planet and those factories were affected by COVID virus.
We have the chance to produce all the most important components we produce ourselves in Switzerland. We have Comadure, we have ETA, we have Universo. So first, it's not far from us. It's a few kilometers away. So we can talk to them, and if they can anticipate also on their side to produce more stock.
But sometimes they have to stop production because
if they stop 1 week, who cares if you have the stock? If you have anticipated growth, if you are confident that a crisis is not the end of the world, just look, in the last 10 years, there is a crisis every 2 years. Financial crisis, a war, a COVID. But it should not take us out of our path. And for that, you need to be confident on the long term, which means you invest, you have stock in the stores, you have stock in the manufacturing arm of the group, you have stock in Tissot, and then if there is a crisis, if we can produce watches for 1 month, never mind. We have stock in the store, we have stock in the warehouse, and we continue to invest and we keep the people. That's the most important. We should never overreact during crises because we keep the talents on board. And honestly, I've been 18 years with the Ceo를 Group now. I was in different American company before, a French company. This was not the culture. And I remember the first crisis 15 years ago. That was also the message from the top management. Keep the people so you are ready when the crisis is over.
Okay, so it was more about strategy. So such a group didn't kidnap aliens or slaves or something
No.
like that. Okay.
And you know, in Switzerland, we were quite very pragmatic when it comes to management of the COVID. And we have learned also, if I take the example of Tissot, it looks simple, it's not simple. For example, we had some teams in the company that were trained to do something else that they were not mandated to do. In case we had one group of people, let's say at packing and labeling. Let's say we had people that were sick there. Of course, priority is their health, everybody at home. But then we have trained people that were not used to do that, to do it in backup, engraving. Every watch has a serial number, it's engraving, it's a free cell, it's a small cell within our company. We train other people to do it in case there was an issue there. The other people could do the job. So we have really developed that. It sounds simple, it's not, but we have developed that the people could do other tasks than they were mandated and used to do.
Tissot has launched a very interesting chronograph, 1938 telemeter. It seems to inspired by Tissot's rich history. What is the story behind this collection? And Tissot seems to focus more on mechanical chronographs. Why are mechanical chronographs so important for Tissot?
Okay, I will start by answering the second question. Personally, I love automatic chronograph and the Valjoux movement. We have the chance to have the Valjoux movement, which is an amazing movement that we want to use more. And the success of the PRX chronograph and of the telemeter confirm us that it's the good strategy. For us, we are very strong with quartz at 300 Swiss francs, but we can be also very strong with chronograph below 2,000 Swiss francs. And that's what we're going to do in the future. To answer the first question about the telemeter, this watch was also a love story when I pulled the drawers in our archives department and heritage department, and I saw the original watch, which was closer to actually this one in terms of dial, in terms of color. I loved it, and I asked the team, and they said that this watch has a rich history because it dates back to the time we started to do time keeping for sports. And today, you know, we are a big player in the sport timekeeping, and that's why this watch is something particular to us because it dates back to the origin of timekeeping for Tissot back in 1938.
I have a quick question related to mechanical chronograph. Lots of vintage Tissot lover miss Lumania-based Tissot vintage chronograph. Are you planning to revive Lumania-based chronograph? Because I know there
I just tell you one thing that we will invest around chronograph. Okay. I can't tell you more.
Okay. I asked this question to every CEO I met. Do you have personal favorite among your company's collections?
I have one for the week, for sure, the chronograph that I'm wearing, the chronograph Prx. And for the weekend, I always wear my T-Touch Connect Solar because I'm always outdoor on the weekend when I'm not traveling in Asia or somewhere else. The T-Touch, I really love it because it's a product that we have put so much passion to develop it. And it's really an achievement in terms of technology because we developed ourselves the solar cells. We didn't went to a supplier and said, give us no, we said it's strategic, we need to be better in watchmaking with solar technology, so we developed it ourselves. It's the first solar cell that is developed for watches. So aesthetically, the solar cell there is no cache, there is nothing that hides it. So 100% of the dial is made of the solar cell. And then we developed also the operating system because we like freedom. We want to be able to be independent. We want to be able to do our own operating system for the connected watch. So there is so much behind it, and the aesthetic I love. So for me, the T-Touch Connect Solar is clearly an emotional product for me, and the PRX Chrono also an emotional product because I was part of the development of this model, and I just love it. When I take it in the morning, I have an emotion, and this is something that we shouldn't put too much word behind it. Sometimes you take a watch, you have an emotion. Why? We shouldn't try to know too much why. You just enjoy the emotion of wearing it.
One last question. What can you expect from Tissot for the rest of the year? And what is your big picture for the future of Tissot?
It's a broad question. If we talk product, you can expect a lot of beauties. I'm really happy and can't wait to see the 2023 products revealed to the press and to the fans. If you talk about Korea, you can expect more beautiful new concept retail operation. We are investing in Korea because it's a very strategic market for us, and we have a beautiful store concept that we started to roll out in some shop-in-shops in department store, and we will take bigger space in the future. You can expect a lot of projects around digital. We have started to implement our CRM worldwide, and we will also develop it in Korea. You can expect some very interesting gifting Christmas campaign, very modern, very surprising, that is coming out. Yeah, you can expect a lot of things, and I'm very proud of the team efforts that what we have developed for the 2023 year that comes.
Can you be more specific?
No, because you have to be patient. It's next year.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your precious time.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you to your wife for arranging to film all of this. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 그리고 지금까지 실방놀라였습니다. 네, 그러면은 또 유용한 정보로 여러분들을 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 생활인의식이었습니다. 안녕히 계십시오.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.